Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Analisa Velez about Season 2 of the game, returning to Paramount Plus December 15th. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's exciting. I mean, has it hit you that Season 2 is finally coming out? Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm kind of terrified because I have not seen any of the footage at all, except for when I do ADR. So, yeah, I'm scared.
It's
but
weird,
I'm really
right? Like, you go in, you shoot it, and then you don't think about it. You're like, oh, yeah, it's coming out now.
Yeah, like sometimes we would shoot things out of sequence. Like we did, I think episode 8 was the last episode that we shot, and I was like, wait, this is a different story timeline. Okay, wait. So yeah, it was interesting. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll get into the game specifically, but for you, like storytelling, because you're also a singer as well. Did you always know you wanted to do both? Like, when did that kind of storytelling bug kind of hit you, so to speak?
So I'm a singer and a rapper and a songwriter. I was doing gospel choir basically my entire life. Yep. And then I booked a role playing a rapper in Boston. And then one day I was like freestyling outside during the pandemic. I don't know why. And I was like, okay, you know what? I feel like I could do this. So then I hit up my dad, and he was like, you got a cousin in Puerto Rico. You should hit him up. And I was like, okay. So then I did. And then I just got into music during the pandemic, and I started like actually pursuing it.
And then, doing acting and everything. I feel like, do you think of, because obviously it sounds big, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like music was like the first love and the first like big interest, right? At a young age, or was it both?
No, honestly, I loved performing for my family. Like I just loved dancing for them, doing whatever. And honestly, like coming up, I was a stepper. So I was stepping most of my life. And then I started really taking acting serious in like my 11th year of high school.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's crazy. I feel like that answer's that answer's a good one, but sometimes it's like the best ones are the ones where like it's people that like are singers and they act a little bit, and it's like the other way around where like they always wanted to act, but they were doing more of the music stuff, and then vice versa.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx, like yeah.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I've seen interviews about him talking about.
Yeah, that's his first love. He used to go from like house to house and sing.
Yeah,
at like parties.
I remember he talked about that a lot. Absolutely. I mean, it's exciting. We're coming back for season 2 of the game. This character of yours, who also is a singer, which is awesome. What is that kind of mindset, for season 2 specifically, like growth and all that? Like, what is your mindset? Is it just kind of go in and see where we left off, basically?
No, honestly, it took a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
Because now I have a whole season that I got to track, and like this whole storyline that we've created that's on the page and then off the page. And now it's got to like seep into this, and it still has to feel like the same day, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
It's been a year, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, no, this happened, and now you've fallen in love, and it's really beautiful, actually. I love the process.
It's one of those things, too, where, like, I can't even imagine how many things are kind of going through your mind for a season 2, because there's like your specific character, then there's like the whole in general, like where's the storyline going? Is it a little bit of both? Like, what is my character going to be up to? And like, what's the whole thing? Like, do you know what I mean by that a little bit?
Yes, no, I know exactly what you mean. I always track my best friend, Brittany, whatever's going on in her world, because it's going to affect my world. We live together. And then I always track my boyfriend, Garrett, and whatever he's doing, I'm like, it's gonna affect my world. So I have to track them, and then also like as Raquel, the artist, I'm like, okay, we gotta prep for what she's doing as a musician, because I kind of like preparing my voice for those moments, because like she's gonna be elevating, and that means more voice classes, more music classes, like this goes into play.
Absolutely.
So I literally take more voice and piano classes, because I'm like, I'm not a pianist, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to go back even. I want to go back a little bit specifically, like what without big spoilers or anything. Super quick. The game. What can we talk about in terms of like what can you tell us if people haven't watched the show, what the show is and your character specifically? I don't like usually doing those kind of generic things, but you're talking. You're kind of intriguing people because you're talking about like the singing component. So I'd like people to kind of know about it. Can you kind of refresh us a little bit, so to speak?
Okay, well, the game, this is the reboot, right? But the game has been on for like 15 years, okay? And then they took a break, and now this is the game, season 1, season 2. So it's a football show, but my character specifically is a singer at literally Joint 51. And so she's just trying to make ends meet. Her best friend comes and lives with her, and you have the whole best friend banter, which is awesome. And then my character like falls in love, and balancing love and your career as a woman, like, yeah, it's just like going up and down. And then the guys on the football field, if you saw season 1, you know that they're on strike. So everybody's just kind of like on hold. What's going on? What's going to happen next? So it's actually super exciting. And I also feel like it mirrors like real life in a lot of ways.
That's something I really loved about the first season because it's like the strike it's interesting you mentioned that because you watch the show and it's like, oh, a football show, but you'll get to know characters. Like, no, like we're getting right into it. Like they're not playing.
We're giving you full, like, yeah, we're going in. There are no appetizers. Yes.
Does it feel like sometimes, Analisa, you're working on 2 shows where in one regard you're working on a show about football and sports and the other regard it's not about that at all? Does it feel like that sometimes?
You know what? It kind of does, just because I actually sing on the show. So I also have to go to the studio, go to rehearsals, and prepare for that. Yeah, no, you're right. I never thought of it that way. That's cool.
Yeah. Because it's about way more than sports, right? It's about these characters' life and like all this tension and conflict and everything. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of conflict and tension like we did in season 1 because some characters just don't see eye to eye. We'll just leave it at that.
Yes. No, I'm so excited for it to drop because the writers really they dove into the relationships and it's juicy. So I'm excited for it.
You look at your character, I feel like there's other characters that are doing a little bit more kind of figuring things out and soul searching and stuff. But a lot of your characters, I guess yours as well, everyone's kind of lost a little bit figuring things out. Is it fun as an actor to play these characters where they actually don't think they're lost, right? In a lot of regards, like that's an interesting thing too, right?
Yes, yo, you really watching the show.
Absolutely.
No, it's interesting that you say that because I have conversations with Toby about this, and he's like, yeah, but don't you see what's going on? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I don't know. It's just, you don't like to judge your character, but then sometimes you read something, you're like, oh, she's doing this because of this. And then you hear another actor and be like, yeah, they're selfish because I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about?
I did have to go back. I will have to say, I got this interview confirmed. I did go back and rewatch the season 1 because it was it's been a while.
Yeah, no, same. I had to too when I was getting ready for season 2. You gotta do your homework. I feel you.
But these characters are so lost in regards to the fact too that I feel like this show becomes a lot more relatable too because during the pandemic we were all doing a lot of soul searching and figuring things out because frankly we had the time to do so. So I feel like the game becomes more relatable to the audience just because of that kind of factor as well.
Yeah, because the world as a whole was going through it. Me personally, I'm still feeling that way. I'm like, okay, what's next? What are we doing? So yeah.
It's so crazy. December 15th, it's going to be season 2's premiering on Paramount Plus. When they get to watch the game, Analisa, what are you hoping they get out of it, takeaway wise specifically? There is a lot, but it's a big question. But it's a game. This is a game.
Yeah. Yes. I hope they see themselves, and I hope they identify with certain parts, and that they can I don't know, piece things that aren't clicking in their life. Like you were saying, they're lost, but they don't realize they're lost. But sometimes it's easier when you see the painting and you're not painting it, right? And you're like, oh, this is going on, that, So I hope that the audience can just kind of escape for a little bit, but then also have those moments where you're like, yo, I am Raquel. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yo. You know, that to me, that's exciting. That's exciting.
See, you know what? Sometimes it's like, because like, you know, you have like questions depending on interviews that like you bring up like all the time because they're good questions, like the storyteller question. And this one I ask a lot, but sometimes it's like an obvious, like, well, I hope they have fun. And I'm kind of like, maybe I don't want to ask that question anymore because it's so obvious. But you just answered was amazing. And you you won the game. How about that?
Yeah.
If there was a game that we were playing, you just won.
That we're good.
Game, set, and match. December 15th, Paramount Plus, season 2 of the game. Analisa, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. It was so great chatting with you.
You're awesome. Thank you.
I really appreciate that. Do you have an Instagram account that people can keep up to date with?
Absolutely. Follow me on Instagram at Analisa Velez, ANALISA VELEZ. Also follow my YouTube channel at Analisa Music. You can check out my music there. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music. If you need to find me, you can find me. Trust me. Also, hold on, Snapchat? No. What's the other one?
TikTok.
Find me on TikTok too at Analisa Velez. Yep.
And they're going to be able to see Raquel singing in season 2 of the game very soon.
You can.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popturn for previous episodes. Look out for Analisa Velez playing Raquel in season 2 of the game, coming to Paramount Plus December 15th. Until next time, this is Analisa and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.